All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick!
Before he could afford to buy fancy houses on islands, and then the islands that those houses were on because of all that Spider-Man money, Sam Raimi used to make cool horror movies called Evil Dead, and that's sitting at number 58.
Yeah.
Love these movies.
I do love these movies. These movies are part of the reason why I became such a huge movie buff over the years.
Right.
I remember my mom used to work as a nurse. Her hospital that she worked at was right next to a video store, so she would bring home videotapes for us. She knew we liked horror. She brought home Evil Dead once. My brother and I stayed up all night. We watched this thing, and then we didn't sleep for a week.
This list is brought to you by VHS.
That's right. That's right. So the great thing about the original movie, and I know it's been remade now with better special effects, it was kind of a dud.
Yeah.
But it was the inventiveness of Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell.
No money, just fun and spooky and creepy.
And it's not just that, it's all the backstory behind the film. It's Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell putting suits on, meeting with investors, trying to get their damn film made in the woods in Tennessee. And you know what? It's not even a shoestring budget. It's like this piece of spaghetti budget.
Totally.
This thing is so bare bones. They shot it over the course
Ed Wood money.
It's not even Ed Wood money, I don't think. They shot it over the course of a year.
You're right.
So what happens over the movie is all of the masks continue to degenerate and they change. And it actually works to make the movie scarier because the demons always look a little bit different than they did the last time. They didn't do that on purpose. They did that because that was one of the constraints that they were working under when they were making this damn thing. They set it in one location, very smart. I mean, I think this movie kind of became a book of sorts of how to make a low-budget movie back in the early 80s.
Sam Raimi was as influential for future indie filmmakers as Kevin Smith became as well. It was interesting to see the friendships that were created by this. Like Ted Raimi had parts in
Rob Tapert,
and Bruce Campbell's been in every Sam Raimi thing that's come since then. But the cleverness in the quick cut editing and the long camera swoops that became synonymous with the Sam Raimi.
Steadicam.
Yeah, he would do Steadicam runs, or he would just even run with the camera through the woods. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff that Lucas was doing on Return of the Jedi with the speeder bikes. And then also what happened with these movies is that they did start to make a little bit of money. I think VHS became a great big friend to the Evil Dead franchise.
Well, they got a huge plug from Stephen King. Stephen King raved about the original Evil Dead. They put that right on the box cover.
Right.
Every kid who went to the video store had to look and see what this was about.
By the time they got to Army of Darkness, which is, I think, the thing that most of us know, and Bruce Campbell's a big star by this point. He's got his boomstick and all the one-liners. They had a real budget for that, and that turned into almost a tip of the hat to all the big budget 80s action movies at that point with, you know, more expensive zombies and stuff. Still super fun. Maybe not as clever.
Deadites.
Deadites, yeah.
Groovy.
Maybe not as clever as the original Evil Deads because it was cool for these guys to create this magic with no money.
I think that's what we see on film is we see a group of people discovering each other, discovering a relationship between, I mean, it's kind of what you see on EP and Reviews on the Run as well. That warmth, I think, comes through the films, and I think you also start to root for these guys because if you look at the Evil Dead 2, it's really just Evil Dead 1 with more money. So these guys are a success story. The symbol of their success is the fact that Evil Dead 2 got made at all. And you're right, by the time they get to Army of Darkness, Raimi's got a much bigger budget. He's got locations. He can go out into the desert.
Well, they're all still passionately involved with whatever happens with the Evil Dead franchise. I know that Campbell was very much, you know, promoting the fact that the reboot was out there. And I think there is an attempt now to make a remake of the actual Sam Raimi vibe and to revisit it again.
Why do we keep doing it? It exists already, and it's fine the way it is.
There's a, you know,
people want to make money. That's all it is.
And Hollywood wants to kind of recapture on these new generations. You know, they want to expose this idea to new people.
Well, how long before we have a Six Flags theme park ride?
You will die!
You shall die! You are all going to die tonight.
I know, right?
Evil Dead.
Well, for now, the Evil Dead can sit comfortably at number 58. Awesome stuff.